Hi. Um, Hi. I want to do a little tutorial today about network linking with Google Earth. What network linking allows me to do is whenever I draw a line on Caltopo, it'll automatically put that line in Google Earth so I can see it there as well. So a little earlier, um, I had this map that I built that has sort of these generic routes. These were in there. They're Open Street or Open Trails map. Um, it's an open source mapping product that CalTopo imports. So these lines were created by some user in Open Trails, and they're actually pretty good. Uh, pretty close to the route. I was interested in both the Northridge route and the Coleman Deming, and um, the focus was for August or a September ascent. Uh, that's when I've been there, and I wanted to just see if I could develop maps. So what I did is I copied all these lines, which is quite easy in CalTopo because you can click on the line and click on another part of the line and you can add a line quite easy that'll just follow these lines as they exist on the map and create your own lines. And when I did that, what it ended up doing is it ended up creating a because I had a network link. I had exported a download this network link, so it automatically updated, and I opened that up in Google Earth, and here's Google Earth here. And so I have all the lines and polygons, and these are all these lines that I created, and then I edited them while I was in uh, Google Earth because I could better see the crevasses. So what I'm going to do is just pull those up while and while the satellite image is up, and so I brought them in, and then I started just um, editing them in Google Earth, and just so you can see sort of how powerful Google Earth can be. I'm gonna spin this around here so that we get a good view of Mount Baker. You can see I can spin it any way I'd like and tilt it. Just a little bit more. There we go. And bring it in. So this is that North Ridge Baker, and this is the Coleman Deming. And you can see the trail there that I did is a little bit lower than the one that was on the CalTopo map. And I kind of changed the Coleman Deming a little bit as well. And I added this one, which is a late season approach. It's a little rough of an approach. It has a lot of scree and stuff to do, but it's a carryover route because there's a good place to bivvy right in this area. Um, these are the hiking trails that get you up to the camp here and to the camp on the Coleman Deming. So it was pretty easy to get that all in there. And so what I did at that point is I took this and I just right clicked on it, save place as, and I just saved it as a KML here. And that allowed me to open up CalTopo, and what I did, I had already done this, I saved it, and I just click that, and it'll take a minute. And those are all the routes, and I imported them. And you'll see it gets a little confusing because of all the old lines. But with CalTopo, what I can do is open up the map builder, go to the trails here, and just decide to have none. This may take a minute. Yeah, it just starts to erase all those others. And now my CalTopo map has only the trails as I put them on there. Now I'm going to go back to Google Earth and just show you what I did with the North Ridge, for instance. Normally the route would go up in through here sort of early season. This satellite photo is actually July, and so it's a little melted out and it's broken up, and so I have typically gone up this way in the late season, and so I actually manage the route. This is a July 2014. So it may be a little bit different, but this route, from all my recollection, is pretty much this way. And I remember getting to this island and climbing up. You can climb the steeper wall here, kind of go around. You can see I've got the route going around. It's not quite as steep here. And then you come up, and right up through here it gets really broken. And the best way I've gone through is gone just curved right around here underneath this crevasse. It's not that steep. And then cut across through here and right up to the summit. And you can see this is the Coleman Deming reaching it. And when I've gone down the Coleman Deming, this is pretty much the way I've gone down. And I've always had to do a big end run around this crevasse. So I actually put the route there. And then there's a hazard right here off of Colfax with this ice fall. So I brought it kind of steeply down and just through the toe of that debris. I've crossed higher, and it didn't seem overly bad when I did that. There's always chunks in there, and we moved through pretty quickly and got out from under. But I figured in a whiteout, when you didn't know exactly where you were or how close you were to it, and exactly what it looked like, that if you were closer to the toe, you'd probably feel a bit more comfortable. So I brought it down through there, and then I know this has gone as well early season, but this seems to be a better line, and then all the way back down and to the camp. And just so as a double check, if with this with these newer satellite image, you can actually see trails, and you can see whoever this line I didn't draw. This was part of that open trails. I just copied it over, and it's pretty close. You can actually see tracks in the glacier or in the snowfield there. It oftentimes is pretty impressive what you can see. But sometimes as you're drawing, it's hard to tell exactly where you are on Google Earth. And that's where the network link comes in really handy. Once I put the network link, I can put any of these maps in there, but the map that I built is the one I'm most interested in. You can see it's doing a little bit of uploading there. And depending on your internet speed, it will actually import all the tiles from that map that I've made in Google Earth. And so now, I can go to Google Earth, and I did a sample map in Google Earth here. I'm going to open up my map of Mount Baker. And let me fix this terrain modeling so it doesn't have those roots. That'll take just a minute to start to erase as it reloads. And what I'm going to do, just to show you how kind of cool, so if I look at this map and I start to play with it a little bit, or want to do something else, or connect something up, or I want to change it a little bit. Sometimes when I bring it into Caltopo, it's a little easier to edit and add lines. I can add a line, and I'll make it a little unique. Just a little feature like that. And my internet's running well. It'll automatically show up on Google Earth. So by just drawing that line on Caltopo with that network link, it automatically showed up right in the right spot. And then I can play with it and do that, and it won't fix it in Caltopo. It'll only go one way, which is a little unfortunate. But then all I have to do is find that line, that one, right-click it, save place as. So if I change it, I just save it as a KML file and import it into Caltopo, get rid of the old one in Caltopo, and it allows me to finesse the route, maybe through crevasses and that type of stuff. So anyway, I found that the network link is just a nice little detail that I can add and kind of see where I am on the map, as well as look at the crevasses just with a click. And you can also, once it's clicked, you can deal with the opacity a little bit. So it's kind of a nice little system. With the new satellite images, oftentimes you can see tracks, and that's how I've been building the maps for the approach to the Marble Creek Basin via the Hidden Lakes Peak Trailhead, or Shuckson, and up the Fisher Chimneys that I posted on Facebook the last couple of days. And so I figured I'd just do this tutorial for you and show you that it's not necessarily, a lot of the routes haven't been field justified, but between Caltopo, Google Earth, and my dim recollection, I think these routes are fairly accurate, and they're no less accurate than what is already out there. So I hope you enjoyed that, and let's see if we can take a little tour of the North Ridge, kind of bird's eye view. It should play here. we go. Sorry, delay in the action. And so this is sort of the, the ground look of the North Ridge as you climb up it, weaving through the crevasses and through that broken section. That's always a big question mark. Getting close to that hole, over the top, up the steep section, and a long sideways move around and over to the summit. So I hope you enjoyed that. I think I'll be putting this map out on Facebook at some point with the QR code so that if you have Avenza PDF maps, you can upload that map in Caltopo. I'll take the funny M out of there and have that set up on with a GeoPDF and the QR code so you all can upload that. Again, this is the low traverse for late season. This is to a bivvy for a carryover route. To be honest, I'm not really sure which is better, but I'll let you have at it. So thanks for listening. Have a great day.